Winter is officially underway and the markets are cold. We'll talk about it in just a moment. Welcome back to Your World in Agriculture for December 21st, 2025. Thanks to our sponsor, Imogene Ingredients. Let's get you up to date on the Friday's markets. March corn closed down 0.75 cents at $4.43. January soybeans down 3 cents at $10.49. A note on the soybean market. The soybeans have fallen now by over $1 from their November closing high. Meanwhile, on Friday, meal and oil finished lower as well. March wheat down Friday 2 cents at $5.09. Livestock prices, February live cattle closed $2.40 per hundredweight higher at $230.80 per hundredweight. January feeders finished $5.32 higher at $345.60. February lean hogs settled 37 cents higher at $84.50. We take a look at the Friday's report for the December cattle on feed. Now, we're seeing numbers, of course, the tightest cattle numbers in about 70 years. But we take a look at this chart, and it's showing you Friday's total head count versus a year ago. Now, the total number of cattle and calves on feed at 11.7 million. That's the red line as of Friday. That's 2% below a year ago, the blue line. Placements during November were 1.6 million head. That's 11% lower than a year ago and the lowest in 29 years. So we're seeing the cattle numbers that are very tight. We also want to tell you that that's one of the reasons why the market has been so strong lately, because of the tight numbers. Now, I want to also remind you that on Friday there were more export sales numbers coming out from the USDA. China buying more U.S. soybeans. Meanwhile, on Thursday, the export sales report, these are still delayed, by the way, but the USDA is still trying to catch up. But as of on Friday, the December 9th totals for USDA's weekly export sales, and let's just take a look at these. First off, for corn, you see that for the week of November 27th, sales were 1.79 million metric tons. Top right chart showing the pace of total commitments now at 57% of what the USDA had projected. Bottom left, Mexico and Japan right now the largest buyers of corn. And that corn number, by the way, was the high end of expectations for the week of November 27th. Now for soybeans, we take a look at the 1.1 million metric tons that were sold in that week. The pace now at 49% of total commitments. Bottom left showing China, the biggest buyer in the week of November 27th. Soybean oil, these numbers came in higher than what the trade had expected, around 25,500 metric tons. Pace of total commitments for soybean oil this marketing year at 49% roughly. Meanwhile, India and Mexico, the bottom left chart showing those two the biggest buyers of soybean oil. Soybean meal for the week ending November 26th, 436,000 metric tons, mid-range of what the trade had expected. Top right, pace of total commitments at 44%. Meanwhile, the bottom left chart, Philippines and Mexico, the top two buyers of soybean meal. Now for wheat, the November 27 wheat sales, 460,700 metric tons, mid-range of what the trade had expected. The pace of total commitments now for the U.S. wheat at 77% of what the USDA had projected for the marketing year. Bottom left showing Mexico, the Philippines, and Korea, the top buyers right now, or as of November 27th, we should say, for the U.S. wheat sales. Now, also want to remind you that Arrow Ag Advisory LLC provides us those charts, and want to thank that group for those numbers. Meanwhile, as we take a look at Friday's Commitment of Traders report for the week ending December 9th, it highlighted that money managers are holding net long positions. That's a bet that the market's going to go higher in corn, soybeans, soybean meal, live cattle, feeder cattle futures, and options markets as well. The funds are net short the soybean oil and wheat markets, and that's a bet that the market will go lower. Real quick, rain is moving through Brazil this weekend and the upcoming week. Drier weather may arrive in January for southern Brazil and Argentina's corn and soybean crops. Cattle, hog, and poultry producers, listen up. If your livestock have scours, Imogene Ingredients sell a product called Pharmatan that stabilizes the digestive process. It can save your animal, increase immunity levels, and improve general health. Decrease your scour cases today by contacting Imogene Ingredients at 515-745-1639. Tell Paul I told you to call. Visit ImogeneIngredients.com. Be sure to subscribe and like Your World in Agriculture for more farm content. I'm Mike McGinnis.